my gosh, Noah, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you?
Oh, you beat me to it. Good. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. We're obviously the family is growing here. So it's yeah, it's stressful but exciting.
We were just talking about it a little bit before we started
Hmm.
recording, but there's so much going on in your life right now, so much to talk about from recently
Yes.
wrapping your play to preparing to be
Yes.
a first-time daddy to
Yeah.
entering.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot going on. It's funny because, you know, I guess to get a little bit, I guess it's not too personal, but we were kind of planning. I mean, look, you know,
yeah.
like when like for G, we have a schedule that's sort of nebulous and changes, but we know that at a certain point, it's like a huge block of time that
Yeah.
gets taken up, which we're all so grateful for. But you do have to maneuver your life a little bit, and it can be challenging to plan very important life events. And so, like, for us, the plan was to sort of wait until the series was
Yeah.
over because we just thought it'd be difficult. And then, you know, then it happened this way. So we go,
Like
okay, like let's see how it works. But we're definitely like we're so excited, but then also, you have to there's a lot to figure out in terms of how that all works and then going away fairly soon after. We don't even at the time of this recording, we're basically like a month out. We still don't really
have a
have our schedules set. So it's just hard to plan, but I think going into it, we were like, okay, we just have to remain flexible. So the main thing has just been like, let's be flexible and just see what happens. And it's all a gift. So like it helps to just think of it that way.
It's definitely a gift. And just personally, I'm like so excited because I get to be an aunt to another baby now. Because Leo's like, obviously, I've
Oh
been
yeah.
blessed, and now we get to add another baby to the mix. And so I can't wait. Norma's gonna be like, all right, Bella, like, you can give me some space now. Like, because once the baby's out, like, we're all gonna want to be like there. And,
Oh, I'm so
like,
excited for that. That will be something really special because we're heading into the last one, and so it is a bittersweet thing. But something special is that, sometimes it's not a clean transition in and out of moments in our
yeah.
lives, and so for this, it's blurring a little bit, like this
Yeah.
huge new transition with the end of the chosen. So it will be nice to be around you all during that.
And we're so excited. And the great thing is that, like, Norma and the baby will be there with
Yeah, yeah,
us
yeah,
through it all. So we'll get
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
like enjoy it. And,
yeah.
you'll get to play like both roles of like Andrew and Daddy, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
I know.
simultaneously.
That's
Um,
what I was saying. I was like, I hope I get the scripts as soon as possible so I can learn it so that I'm not learning it while on no sleep. So I'm like
yeah,
trying to do my best to prepare beforehand because it
right.
can be a lot. And some actors work differently, but I like to have it down. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't want to be worrying about what I'm supposed to say on the day. And some people kind of enjoy that energy of like, I'm barely have control of it as it comes
right.
out. But it's actually helpful to have it so sort of prepared, at least for me, my way of working, have it so prepared that then you can kind of release into the fluidity of it.
100%.
And so, yeah, because of that, I'm like, I'd love to get it early so that I can be ready, and then I'm not like day of showing up at 5:30 in the morning for makeup, and I'm like, oh, what are we doing today? So,
Because then you
yeah,
want to be able to, like, once you have all that down, then you get like creative and open, you get
yeah, exactly,
loose with it.
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot going on in your life, but it's all great stuff for now, right? And I can tell that it's like it's a lot to balance, but just know like you have, obviously your family and us friends like around for all of
thanks,
that, for all that that's
yeah,
going to come, right? Last time we
thanks,
saw each other in person was in Charlotte. When you flew back to
yeah,
LA, though, you had to jump right back into your play, The Typist, which was
yeah.
by the way.
Oh, thank you. It was so nice to have you both there. It was so
It was
nice.
super cool to like see you in your element, especially on stage. Because like me as a thespian, like always doing theater, watching you in a theater element was like so
Yeah.
you killed it.
Oh,
And so
thank
did
you.
your colleague. Both of you guys did great. But Giovanni and I were like so happy to be there to watch you kill it. Overall, like how was that experience for you diving into that character and story?
Yeah, so um, the writer is this really great writer, Shem Bitterman, who's been working forever in LA, film, TV, theater, a lot of really cool theater pieces. And we met like 10 years ago. Just goes to show, like, you never know where, collaborations come from. But 10 years ago, I did a reading of a play of his, and it was really funny and dark. And then he just reached out to me right at the tail end of last season going, I just wrote this play. It's based off the writer of Revolutionary Road. In 1961, he wrote this, seminal American novel. But it's funny, like now that it's done, I can sort of say he was like a mess. He had a real tough go of things. Now we would call it some version of manic depressive or struggling with a lot of mental illness and then self medicating through alcohol. So he was constantly drinking. And there's this huge biography about his life. Goes into it, grew up right in the heart of New York City and, single mom and not having a lot of money, but going to these private schools around kids who were part of sort of a different world than him. And he always felt like not a part of it. He always was like, I know that I'm smart. I know that I'm talented if I could just prove myself. So there's this effort of like trying to prove it. And he has spent the last 5 years working on this book, and he's convinced it's the next great American novel. He just has to sort of like land the plane and get out of his own way, which is way easier said than done. And
Yeah.
so I read the play for the first time, and I was like, whoa, this is a really interesting guy that also wasn't quite clear to me why he thought of me for the role. Like, I love that kind of stuff, but there were a lot of differences in just him and I. And ultimately, he just said, but I care when I see you do it and when I have you read it. Like, I care about him. And we didn't want, I mean, he's a difficult dude. So a lot of people leave going, like, uh oh, this guy's trouble. But we didn't want it so averse to the audience where they couldn't at least see where he's coming from and where the challenges were with him. And so it was a challenge. Only two of us in the play. It's about an 80-page play. And I kind of thought, okay, performances would be tough because only the two of us, but it really was the rehearsal process. Because generally in a rehearsal for a play, like the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 plays, they've been ensemble plays from anywhere from 4 to 8 people, something like that. So, let's say you're doing a play and you play one brother and then like the other brother and the mom have a scene. So for those 2 hours they're working that scene, you're able to kind of digest what your last scene was, process it, write it out, kind of work it, and then it's like, oh, next up is our next scene, so let's work that, and then I'll go process it. This was like never any time to process. It'd be like, let's do the first scene, and then as soon as we're done, it's into the next scene,
Later.
and the next scene, and the next scene. So it was like we both were feeling kind of beat up halfway through the rehearsal process, and it was like my schedule became I'd wake up at 7 in the morning. Rehearsal would be like at 11. So I wake up at 7. I go to the gym. If I'm lifting weights that day, okay. If I'm not, I'm on the treadmill running through the scene that's for that day. So like let's say we take 20-page increments. So on the treadmill, I'd just be like going through the 20 pages being like how familiar can I be with this? So for a few hours before rehearsal, then you have a 4-hour rehearsal and you're like doing it then. Then you go home and you're like, tomorrow we have to do the next 20 pages. So it was really a lot. And the funny thing is, it really is for the love of it and for you just want to tell the story the best way that you can. It's not like it's a massive paycheck or anything like that. It really is nothing except the love for putting on a show with people that you love and admire and care for and have fun with.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, like it's also theater can be quite painful because this used to happen to me. This is a super long answer, but I feel like it's this is
I
what
love
these
it.
are.
That's what we want. Yeah.
This used to happen to me in high school. I was in a band called the Pecan Sandies. Okay, we were like a folk band in high school. I played mandolin and ukulele and bass, and we
Noah,
would
you're
go and
sending me a picture of this. I need pictures.
oh, I had hair like fluffy hair down in
Please
front of
send,
my
yeah,
face. I
your text,
guarantee I can find a picture of it. I'll
please
send it
text
to you
one
so you
after
can
this.
put it right here.
Yes.
So we were in this band, and we were like a folk band out of Tempe, Arizona, and we would, in a sort of unusual way, maybe for high school kids, we would play at venues all the time. We would even play at, I guess, what would be bars, but we were underage and obviously wouldn't be drinking, but they'd allow us to be on stage playing. And we were playing all over Phoenix, and it would be like every weekend, basically, playing shows, which was, yeah, it was like a fun way to be spending our time as high school students, and we
Okay.
really cared about it. And the problem is, we would beat ourselves up after a show, like almost every time, because you're aiming for like the top, and you know what it sounds like when you just kill.
Yeah.
So anything under that, even if an audience wouldn't know it, anything under that, you leave going like, I messed it up, or I didn't hit that moment, or it didn't come off the way that it should, or we forgot this thing, or we were rushing, and why? And we would like decompress after shows at the back of someone's, truck, and we'd be hard on ourselves. Like it was hard to enjoy it. Um, and we'd enjoy rehearsals, we'd enjoy the process, but there's a thing about performance where, in a way that film's a little different, because it takes so long sometimes to film scenes, you
Yeah.
feel like generally you get to maneuver. It almost feels more like rehearsal in
Yeah.
that you get to maneuver through it, navigate through it. You
Yeah.
do it once, and the director a lot of times comes up and is like, "Let's try this, let's try that." So you're adjusting while quote unquote performing
But a
in a way that
performance is
theater,
one time.
yeah, you do it once, and then you're like, I messed it up, and like, it's gone, and it can be painful, and the play is no different. It's very hard to be consistent, and so some nights would feel awesome, and then some nights, mostly it's awesome, but there'd be things that you're like, oh, I just wasn't quite present in that moment, and
It's
it
so
just eats
normal
you.
though
Yeah,
for live performance, for theater,
yeah,
for singers, like it's what you're
yeah,
saying, especially because also in your life, something could have been happening that day, right?
totally.
That also adds to that. And so you don't wake up every day just like on cloud nine, like you have
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
moments, and the more shows you do, the more draining it gets naturally. So like, yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna have an off day, and then as artists, like there's this layer of like there is a judgment layer of like people are watching and judging the artist. So there's this like perfectionism of like, oh,
Totally.
even though they don't notice, like they might like you're in your head as like, oh, they totally noticed this was terrible, but then like to the audience, it's like, whoa, that was amazing. Like, wow,
Yeah,
yeah.
like actually, there's a funny story about when you both were there that I told you afterwards, but because you guys came on the final night of previews
Yes.
right before we opened, which was a great night, by the way. We really enjoyed it because the night before,
You guys were sold out the night out. We wanted to do like the opening night, but
yes,
sold out. So we're like, let's do this before we fly back out.
it
Like,
actually was a better night to come the night that you guys were there, because it's difficult because even all that other external stuff filters in, and you try to keep it at bay, or sometimes you try to like, okay, well, let's just use the nervousness or energy or whatever. But your night was quite special because the preview before, when there was just so many technical elements with this play, and it was like I had nightmares after that preview where I had a nightmare. Okay, so I had like so many wardrobe changes mid show, and it was like getting in my head because I'd end a scene and then be like, I have to change like five elements, and I'd be like, what do I change? And so I had a nightmare that night that my sleeve of my shirt couldn't close, and then on the other sleeve had a giant bell attached to it that would chime anytime I'd move. And so in the middle of the play, I'd have to hold on to it so that it wasn't too noisy. It was like all the technical
Oh,
aspects were just so much. So anyway, your night, we start the play, and before I'm in my like tiny dressing room, and I'm like, okay, whatever happens tonight, technical stuff,
yeah.
I'm not gonna let it throw me. I'm gonna just whatever happens, like it's okay. It
Right.
doesn't matter, and like it's okay if I'm on stage and something doesn't work. Like that happens in life all the time, and that things don't have to like go right. And so I'm trying to like I'm going okay. Tonight is that night. So in the play, I I read from the manuscript of my novel throughout the play. And there are like three or four key moments where I kind of read from it and I dictate from it. So it's not just the words, it's like every comma,
Right.
period, quotation, end of quotation. So it's like dictating to the typist. And we start the play. We're in the first scene. I grab from under the desk the firebox, basically, that the manuscript is held in, and I take it out, and she goes, "Is that?" My line is, "The one and only copy." And I set it on the desk with my back to the audience. Set it on the desk, and I hear click, and I'm like, and I try to open it, and it locked, full locked, and I was like, like the whole manuscript that I read from is in there. And I'm like, I go in the moment, she's waiting for me. And in the moment, I'm like, is there anything I can do? Like everything. It's like flash before the whole play basically flashes in that moment where I go, what do I do? Is there anything? I know I have keys at some point of the apartment. It's very dressed like a real apartment. So there's
Yeah.
stuff everywhere. Books, pens. So I'm like, is there the actual key to this box somewhere? And then I'm like, no, there isn't. It's locked. I can't open it. So I just kind of look up. I look at her, and she's like, her back's to the audience now, and now I'm facing the audience. She's looking at me like, where's. You're not holding the pages to read from it. I just look at her like, here we go. And she goes, let us begin. And we start, and in that transition, I grab pages from the desk, but they're blank. I'm like, I can't read from blank pages the whole play. So I find some that just have any words on them. And I'm like, got it. I'm just going to take it moment by moment. And when I get to the part where I have to like dictate an entire page, I'm just going to do my best. And we got to that moment, and I was like, not actually reading it, and I'm doing my best to put in every semicolon and comma and even the words because I just was reading from a it's like picking up a book and just reading the page. So I did it, and like afterwards I told you guys, you were like, we had no idea. Yeah, like
Exactly. Like all that, we had no idea. It was great.
yeah, so funny. And it was like a classic theater thing of like, of course the most important prop like doesn't work and you just have to figure it out.
Yeah, just to let you know, we did not notice. We were loving it, and you were.
Love it. That's so fun.
And
Yeah.
you mentioned the like the set design, like the production design, everything was so good. And even something as nuanced as like her like costume design and how it evolved as she started like falling in love with your character.
Yeah.
Pants and like I'm an independent woman, and then like slowly she comes out in a dress and she's like love
Yeah.
and little nuances like that that I really really liked. And then the lighting, there was a scene where you're just sitting, you're in bed and you're like drunk, like just
Yeah.
completely out of it. And she's like knocking on the door and
Yeah.
you're like in the shadows and
Hmm.
like you're the only thing that's like dim and then everything else is lit. And then so like you go into and just little things like that that just really like add even more to the story that is already good. But it was great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, love that. Oh, I'm so glad. It was really special to have you there. And yeah, it goes to show like something that you really can do with live theater, especially as we move more and more into this world where
yeah,
things are created even without, it's and in
yeah,
live theater, you really are there and there's something so special. It's like going and seeing a painting in a museum.
yes,
It's like there's no doubt that going to a museum and standing in front of a work of art is a world of difference from just like Googling the photo and looking at it
100%.
on your screen. It's like
100%.
not the same thing at all. And so it's really special.
So then for you, take like you're right now talking about for the audience how special it is going to the live performance, but for you as an actor, what experience did it give you that TV and film doesn't?
Wow. You know, I have to say, like, because mostly coming up and working as an actor before The Chosen. I mean, I would get some jobs and do like a TV show gig, but
Right.
I remember, I mean, the longest that I had worked on a show before The Chosen was a week, and that was like, whoa, I'm gonna be on this show for a week
Yeah.
every day for a week, and then 2 days next, I'm gonna be going to this studio to the
Right.
lot and filming on a show. Like, that to me was so crazy. And that was like the winter. That was a year before The Chosen. I did this Nickelodeon show. Um, and other than that, I did like a day on a film, a day on a show,
Yeah.
2 days on a show, something like that. So it's very hard to get your feet under you. It feels like you're in survival mode because
Yeah.
the stakes feel so high, the pressure feels so high. And like, I remember I got cast in La La Land as like a small part opposite Ryan Gosling,
So cool.
where he and the part that I got and the whole sequence that we did isn't in the film. Like, it doesn't exist in the film. It I think took place like after the film would have ended. Like, it's a whole thing that would have happened after that time. So I mean, like, yeah, it was really interesting. But basically, like, we get into a little tiff. I don't want to say like too much about it, but it was fun. And I'm just in that one
Yeah.
scene with him, but it was really cool to work with him. And so I'm going. I don't know anything. I just have the
Yeah.
whatever pages that I'm in, and I show up on the day at like 8:30 in the morning, and I'm so nervous because I'm like, okay, what is it going to be like? I don't even have that much. I get there, they've changed the pages, so what I was familiar with is different, and it's actually like less for me to do. So I'm like,
Oh,
oh, so I like take the hit. I'm like, no, and then I'm like waiting, and I'm in my trailer for like hours. And no one's like told me what's going on. So I finally like leave my trailer, but I don't feel like at home. I'm walking around. I'm like, is anyone like, and then I see a PA and I'm like, can I like go see what they're filming? Like, this is such a learning experience, and I'm like sitting in a room alone. I'd
yeah.
love to watch, but I like don't know where I can go. I like open the door. I'm like semi in the shot, like, oh no, I'm ruining this. I'm like going and hiding, and people are like, who is this guy? There's just like a sense of like, it's hard to feel like you belong, hard to feel like at place. But then with like and then finally when we were working, everyone was so lovely.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling was amazing. Damien Chazelle was awesome. Came up and he's like, Noah, thanks so much. Be like, so cool, such a fun experience. But like for those hours and hours and hours before, I just felt like I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
On The Chosen, totally different because we have so much time. We all feel like at home. We
Right.
feel like we can collaborate. We're not like, uh-oh, they're gonna find me out. You're
Yeah.
there to like work it with Dallas and the other actors, the collaboration. I love that so much. I love filming. I love TV and film. I
Yeah.
think the idea that this scene, we're going to do it all day or for 3 hours or whatever. For instance, the scene where it's just popping into my head, the scene where Jesus and I are sitting on the bed after John the Baptist has been killed. And we're like, is this really okay to laugh while we're mourning? And that whole scene. We shot that scene for like 3 hours, and we were able to play around and change things. And Jonathan even threw in little improvs, and we like had fun in the way where we're maneuvering it and navigating it, figuring out again, it feels like rehearsal, constant rehearsal forever, and then it's just done. You're
Right.
filming the sort of rehearsals in that way. You're not like, here we go. You're like really trying to do it, and it can feel very small in the way where it feels intimate in a way where the camera's right there, you're with the people that you're working with, and I love that. And theater, it can sometimes feel like a colossal Atlas like task where you're like,
Yeah.
like, let me do the whole thing tonight. And then tomorrow,
Yeah.
the whole.
Yeah.
And so it teaches you like the stamina needed to do it is otherworldly. Like, it
Yeah.
is very difficult, but it does make you better. It makes you better because you're like, whoa, if I could do I
Fast,
mean, if you're doing Hamlet every night for
right?
months, like, and then there's the not just the stamina of that for those 3 hours. By month three, you're like, I am gassed.
Yeah.
And if I'm there and I'm not really hearing it for the first time, it's so difficult. Then you start getting into lulls where you're like, oh no, I feel myself like acting right now. Or I feel it like I'm making this happen. I don't want that. I
Directing.
want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's fun. It's fun rehearsal process. I love doing it, but like I prefer the way that TV and film work. I do, but
I love that.
both are very helpful.
They are. And I just definitely think when you have theater under your belt too, it just like really
Yeah.
gets like more of a, I don't know, like a deeper level of like, I don't know, appreciation for the arts and acting. Not to say that like TV and film doesn't, it does, it 100% does. But like you said, that weight that you carry on and doing it like you got one chance that night to do
Yeah.
it and no other takes.
Another thing I want to say real quick that I just think is interesting for people who aren't actors maybe is a lot of times like you hear about film or TV actors going like doing Broadway and they get sort of criticized because they're like, oh, are they comfortable being on stage? But actually, what is so difficult about theater is like there's nowhere to hide. We are witnessing someone's entire being and through space and time all at once on stage in a way that film, like even now, you don't know that I'm necessarily sitting cross-legged right now on this lap. You know what I
Right,
mean? And I can kind of do whatever I want down here. I could even be
right,
fidgeting with my hands and
right,
pulling at myself, and it
right.
doesn't quite affect the. And I could even use it to help me. Like, let's say I have to be nervous in a
Yeah,
scene, and I don't want to be like, you know,
yeah,
doing this, but like I can kind of get that energy by doing something down
yeah,
here that you're not aware of. It
yeah.
can help me. But on theater, nowhere to hide and we're seeing everything and so like to be fully in your body
Love,
and not you have to use every part of yourself.
yeah.
It is a whole other aspect of like awareness that you have to,
That's such a good point. That's so true. I love what you just said, even with this shot, right? Like on
right,
TV, there could be one angle or one shot that doesn't show what the rest of your body's doing, right? But on
exactly,
stage, we can see everything, right?
exactly,
So that's
exactly.
actually, I'm so glad you added that in. I want to wind it way back to the beginning. Like, when did
Yeah,
you start dabbling in acting or realize, like, hey, this is what I want to do?
yeah, like I always had a sort of performance streak in me, especially as a kid, like before I became an adult, and then it did kind of change a little bit. But I think even when I was 3 years old, I'd go up to like random families in the park and like dance Michael Jackson for them. Like that was like a part of, I just like enjoyed that. I don't know. I don't know what it was exactly, but I feel like I like being creative. I like pulling energy from around me in the universe and transferring it into a joke or something interesting or I just like doing that. And so as a kid, like I played music before I found acting. And then there were little moments in class, like English class, where they'd be like, we're gonna do, we're gonna do this play or something. And they're like, Noah, why don't you play the lead you feel like you do it, And so that was always fun, but really when I got into it was freshman year of high school. I went into drama. It was almost like faded, honestly. I don't know how to say it except I was slated to go to one school. The kind of uppity school had a lot more money than the school that I ended up going to. But my two brothers went there and they hated it. Corona del Sol in Tempe. There were like 4,000 kids there and they just hated it. And so part of me was like, I'm going to go to the other school, which is sort of like a little bit of a tough school. Like
Yeah.
my first week of school at Marcos de Niza, there were like 7 fights on campus. Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
it was like a little bit of a tougher vibe.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know why. I just decided I'm like I don't want to go to the school that my brothers hated, and I don't like the sort of uppity vibe. Let me go to this one, and I took drama, and my drama teacher Ches is his name, was awesome and basically encouraged the freshman kids to try out for the fall play, this British farce called See How They Run. And so I auditioned, and it was like I didn't know what I was doing. Like I don't even know at this point what an audition is. But they had a cold read, is
Mhm.
what it is, which is where you have no idea what it is. You grab the sheet like there, and then they bring you on stage and you read it, which is like not anything that happens really in like professional.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, maybe they'll be like, instead of this part, actually read for this, and then you do sort of have to cold read. But
Right.
I mean, like almost nothing's in person anymore anyway. So anyway, then and I cheated. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm taking this home with me and like looking at it because I'm like, I got to figure this out. So I take it home, and it's like a Cockney Bobby, like which is a police officer. And I'm like, Cockney, what is that? I don't even know what it is, but in my mind, I have
You mean Cockney,
like,
like the dialect of British that's like,
yes,
yeah, okay. Yeah.
super working class British, like old
I
school.
don't know what it is about high school plays that make us do that because I had to do a Cockney accent for high
They
school.
love it.
Why? Like,
I
why?
don't know. They love it. Yeah, it's so, and mine was horrendous, by the way. It's still horrendous. It's like my worst accent. It's so hard, and I just feel like an idiot when I do it. But I took it home, didn't really know, but I was like Shrek, like some version of the characters in Shrek, like Lord Farquaad, which is not Cockney, right? So I'm like, I'm thinking like, who are those actors? Let me just do something like that. So I work it a little bit in my bathroom at home, go back. My mom like takes me back to school, and I do it, and I get a call back. And there are only two of us called back for this part. Me and the senior kid, who is lovely. And uh the callback in high school theater, again, something that would never happen ever in the history of professional theater. You do it in front of everyone. Every student who's called back for everything is like in the audience, and we're all watching each other audition, which is crazy, but that's like how they do it. Very good for a TV show, not for like, like Glee would do something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so we go up, and they go, for your guys' callback, it was just a big monologue. I come in at the end of the play, have this huge monologue, and I'm like bumbling through solving the case, whatever, or something like that. Big monologue, and he goes, we're going to have you both on stage, and you're both going to do the monologue at the same time. And the idea is
What?
whoever's like more captivating or something will like win the part. Insane way to do it, but poor guy doesn't know that he's standing next to like the loudest
Yeah.
human being in the history of the world. So I was just like, even had a sense then that like I'm just gonna do my thing and almost like bully the space, be loud, kind of obnoxious, like really ham it up, you know. And I knew to sort of take my time with it. I had the instinct. So he finishes, and I'm like still going. So then he has to just be up there watching me, be like, "Why, yeah, and it's crazy. And I end my like last line, big boisterous, and it gets like a big laugh. And it was basically like, that's it. And I got the part as the freshman, and it was like a
That's
ridiculous way to do
also
the
a big
audition. But
deal because in
yeah,
high school, like freshmen don't usually get the good
no,
parts. Like
no.
you were
And
like,
that also made the drama. That was a little bit of drama in the drama club where they're like, this
uh-huh,
freshman kid took the role,
yeah, of like a junior, senior.
Yeah, and it was just like the process of then rehearsing it, and I had no idea about how any of it worked. So I just soaked it all in, and it was a comedy, so I'd watch people be really funny, and I was always fascinated with comedy and timing,
Yeah.
and there were some really talented people who became good friends in that play, and so I would watch them and then do my work and not know what I'm doing. I'm like, I
Though.
have no idea, but it was just so fun and the community of it, and then I was hooked.
I love that. So then what was your first like not high school or like, drama audition, but like what was your first like TV audition? First ever.
Okay. Okay, my first TV audition. So I went to NYU for college, but they were very keen on like don't work professionally while you're in school, which is sort of it's like, yeah, I understand, but also like people who were it's a good jump start.
Hmm.
I understand they're like you're training, but we also need to like work afterwards. It's a difficult profession. So
Right.
I didn't have any sort of reps or anything in school, whatever. And I just was auditioning for theater in New York when I got out, and then I moved to LA basically almost a year after graduating. That was it. Most people stayed.
Mm.
Moved to LA, and I get an audition for a short film for that was really cool called Dog It Down, and I played this Jewish sailor in World War II, based on true story
Oh,
of one of the ships that was uh,
wow.
uh, what sank during Pearl Harbor,
Wow.
and these sailors were alive in a compartment in the bottom of the
Oh,
ocean there, and they
wow.
could hear them banging on the metal, but they couldn't get to them, and it was like I think it was
Oh
17 days or something that they knew they were down there,
my God.
and a really brutal like story, and then they found them. They finally were able to get in, like in this happened in obviously at Pearl Harbor, and I think they finally got in May, so months and months later. But this story was based on them, and I had a really great time with that cast and crew. And the woman who cast it was a casting associate for the CW.
Oh,
And I get this audition for the remake of 90210. And I get the audition, and I go in and I do my thing, and I don't get it, but I get another audition for a different part in that same episode or the very next episode, something like that. And this, like the first audition was maybe for like a waiter or something where it wasn't very consequential. It's like you come
yeah.
in, you're like water, you know, or something.
Yeah.
This one was like the name was Obsessed Comic Book Fan. And I was like, great. I'm going to be like so weird and just come in and be like a true character.
Yeah.
And I went in, and it's online. Some like I can find the scene, but basically I went in and I was just a super weirdo,
You're gonna
and they
send
were
it
like,
to me afterwards, or I'm gonna do a
I
deep dive and
will.
find it.
I'll find it. It's on the final season of the 90210 remake. And yeah. You're gonna find it and be like, what? So I just was like super weirdo and got it. Got cast in it. Didn't have an agent or anything. Like got cast in it. Drove down to Manhattan Beach at like 4 a.m. Shot. There were like 200 background, and it's in like a Comic Con type setting with like the most handsome man in a 500-mile radius. Like the dude in the scene with me. You know, of course, it's the CW, and we do the scene, and it was just so fun. And I remember one of the actresses was hanging out outside of her trailer, one of the like leads, and
Yeah.
I'm like a co-star, small part. I'm only gonna be there that morning, basically. And she was like, "So you just graduated, you know, like 2 years ago, whatever. Like, good for you, and like you're working, like, good for you. Like, keep at it." She was very encouraging and really sweet, and we were just chatting, and she was like, "Great work," and the directors are really cool, and they were like giving fun little adjustments, and it just was so fun. And I drove home that day going like, "That was it," and I started reaching out to agencies, and was like literally I would go to these workshops where they had all these different agents, and you'd go and do like a quick little scene for all these agents, and I just said to them all, I'm like, dude, I got on TV like without representation
Yeah.
against people who have representation. Like, I feel like you should rep me.
Right, me, yeah.
And one guy was like, you're right. And then that was the sort of first journey of it, of just being like, I belong in this industry, but it's super difficult, and it's
Yeah.
when opportunities come, sometimes they can feel very few and far between. So you gotta be. That's why I did so much theater at the beginning, because I was like, I just gotta be
In
putting my work out into the world, and that's honestly doing theater is how I even found my way to my current manager, who got me my agent at the time that I was with, who got me the chosen, who and it
wow.
was doing
Wow.
theater. Like,
Yeah.
they saw me in a play and were like, I wanna
I love
be with you and work with you, and yeah.
That's so cool. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
the scene because it just, I know you blew it out of the
It
park.
will be me,
So
short hair, very clean shaven.
so good.
Yeah, it'll be funny.
So good. What would you say has been like, going through all of that experience, being in theater, being, in TV, but overall, just not like in your career, but in your life, has there been like a difficult moment or a difficult thing that you've had to overcome to get to the success you're at today?
Okay, there was what I would call the like lowest. moment, I hope stays the lowest moment, and you never know how everything goes, but lowest moment for me to this point in my career,
Mhm.
I was doing a new musical here in LA,
Mhm.
and it was the most, by the way, that I had ever been paid to act. Like, I was getting paid weekly to rehearse for the show. They
Yeah.
put a lot of money into it. It was fun. Like, I actually met one of my very good friends doing it. But it was it opened, and like no one was going to the show. It just wasn't. They didn't know how to advertise for it or whatever the thing was. There
Yeah.
just wasn't an audience, and we knew the show was like pretty good. We were
Yeah.
in a big space. It was probably like 200 to 300 seats, and we were talking very few people in the audience, which
Wow.
is really demoralizing because you're like, oh no, like you
Yeah.
even feel it more when there's such a big house.
Yeah.
And my reps, I had to tell my reps, by the way, like, stop submitting me for things because I'm taking this job. So I can't be, considered for like TV and film stuff while I do this play. And they're like, okay, if you really want to do it, it's just a few months taking away. And finally we open and it's like, no one's going. And they're like, well, when can we come see the play? And I'm like, trying to hold them off because I don't want them to be like, come and be like, you took off
Right.
and like what's going on here.
Cool.
So finally I can only hold them off so long, and I'm like, okay, in 2.5 weeks come to the play. I like figured the date, and I'm like, oh, I tell my mom too. I'm like, come on that day, come, I'm hoping we can drum up audience by then.
Yeah.
So the day shows up, and the audiences have not really been improving by this point.
Oh,
And I ask the stage manager, we're like getting ready for the play, we're all up, and it's like out of a TV show with all the lights in the dressing room, we're all like doing our powder or whatever.
oh,
And I'm like, hey, how's the house? And he's like, there are like, I want to say six, but it might have been eight. There are like eight people in the audience. Meanwhile, my manager, my agent, my mom, my grandpa, and grandma are
oh,
in the audience. And then there's three other people. And I couldn't go out there. I was like, I can't. And 10 minutes before curtain, the director, which I hate with a passion doing this, he's like, you'll come out and everyone goes out there as character and they interact with the audience and they,
yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah.
They were like, no, everyone's going out there. And I was like, I'm not going. Like, I'm not interacting with the audience. It's my family and reps. I'm not going out there as the character and it's a 300 seat. I was like, I'm not doing it. And they're like, okay, like, like, what do we do?
Oh,
So everyone goes down and I'm left in the green room alone.
no.
And I'm like, just on the verge of tears. Like, I felt so, and it wasn't the show's fault. It wasn't anyone production's fault. It's no one's fault. It's just like sometimes these things happen.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't go out there. Curtains at 8. 7:57, 7:58, 7:59. Everyone else is down there to start the show because they start out in the audience. And they're like, where's Noah? And the stage manager comes up 8 o'clock and they're like, Noah. And I'm like, you have to give me 2 more minutes, like 3 more minutes, 4 more minutes. Like I can't go down there. And I'm like rattled, literally holding back tears. Like anyone looked at me would be like, he's up here. Like I'm like, I can't go out. I
Yeah.
can't. Finally, 8:05 comes, and one of the producers comes up and is like, "Are you like we're holding for you?" And she saw how upset I was, and she thought it was because I was like nervous to go
Oh,
out, like the nerves.
yeah.
And she took my hand. She's like, oh, "Don't worry, like you're so good in this. Like
Oh,
it's so fun." And her like, and again, no shade against her. She's like, I have an actor who's refusing to go on, but her like not understanding actually what it was
yeah.
that had gotten to me
Yeah.
in a way like frustrated me to bring me back to like
I
be in
feel
the
like
moment.
you just,
Yeah, I was like, dude, that's not it in
yeah,
my head, but I'm
let
not
me
trying to be
show
rude.
you.
And also, like, she, she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And so I was like, 1 minute and I'll be down, I promise. And I'm like, just let me, like, blow my nose. And then doesn't, I like, it was like, I, Tanya, like, smile, smile in the mirror and head downstairs. And I go up, I do the show, and it's a fun show, but there's 8 people in the audience, and we end, and like, that feeling, like I couldn't sleep that night because I
Oh,
was like, what that was wrapped up in it was I've been at this for years,
yeah.
years,
Yeah.
and like that felt like
Yeah.
failing in a very public way to the people who matter the most in my life and my business people who
Yes.
matter the most in my life. And it was like so hard to deal with. And the funny thing though, to tie it in, is that right afterwards, that was probably like my lowest. I also kind of was, a little bit like I stopped taking care of myself as much. I would stay up super, super late. I was like not in a good spot.
Yeah.
And I auditioned for the short film The Shepherd right around then, right after this play. And that is what led into The Chosen. That's the short film that was the precursor for The Chosen. So I auditioned for the lead character of that. And I didn't get it. And it was just something that I auditioned for, never heard, whatever. But I was like not in a good place. And a year and a half later, I had picked myself back up. I'm taking classes. I'm like making sure that I'm at it. I'm going to the gym. I'm like,
On top of it.
yeah, I'm just on top of my life. I was in a pity party, pull
Yeah.
myself out, and then I auditioned for The Chosen. And like, thank God I didn't get The Shepherd. I would have worked 3 days, and then
Yeah.
that's it. And then because I didn't get it, it's like you never know what a quote unquote failure, even though it's not a failure. Like I learned stuff from it. I met amazing people. You never know like how then that because I was able to sort of turn it around and maybe I needed that a year and a half later I was ready for when The Chosen came along.
And you mentioned that's so beautiful. I love that. You mentioned like the pity party. I feel like we all at some point in our lives go through a pity party for ourselves. We go through
Yeah.
something really dark, right? And you have to get to a breaking point. I truly believe. I think I'm speaking out of experience too, of like to the point where you're like, wow, like this is the darkest spot of my life. And
Yeah.
then slowly when you get yourself out of that, the best thing comes after that, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah, and
more
and
beautiful things come.
totally. And the ability to the hardest thing is just like surviving it and getting through it.
Yeah.
But that in and of itself is a success in the way where if you can just, it was like what I said to a lot of people during COVID, because we were crazy fortunate on the show
Yeah.
because we were able to film through COVID. We were COVID testing like every day during it so that just so insurance would insure the production. Like you had to go through a lot to be able to film during that period. It was
Right.
super stressful for everyone, production, cast, but we were doing it and a lot of the industry like shut down. So for most actors it shut down. Then the strikes
It's
shut
right.
down and we were able to work with SAG to get the interim agreement so that we could film with their permission. So
Yeah.
we've been able to work through these really slow moments, but a lot of people like it's been a tough 5 years for the industry. And part of it is like just survive the time
Yeah.
because a lot of people and there's no moral right or wrong. Like if you decide like, you know what, this isn't for me, you can do something else and that's totally fine. But if you can make it through that time, that is a huge success because then at the end of the tunnel, like you're there and you're ready.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will have been like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And you're there doing it. And it's
What's
like,
the key? Like that's something I want to ask you, like out of your experience, for the people listening that are maybe going through that dark time right now,
yeah,
right? And whatever it may be, because everyone's going through something, like how, what's your advice to them to just keep pushing forward? How do you get yourself out of that rut to make sure that like you're there at the end of that tunnel so that you can get that like light or that next opportunity, right? Because what you see as
yeah,
a closed door now, there's like a bigger and better door for
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. I think that, you know, I mean, it's something I is a challenge for me all the time. The things, I mean, we all have things that like get to us and are just difficult to move through, or the things that we just aren't as good at handling as other stuff. But I would say like one is to really try to curb self-destructive behavior.
Yeah.
Like that is where it really, if when you're in a battle with yourself, that's the hardest thing. And like anything you can do, like I believe in therapy. I believe in community. I believe in, like I'm in therapy now and it's been very helpful to me. I think it's very helpful for artists because we
Yeah.
put ourselves through a lot, and it's helpful to be able to sort of name and then work through things that are going on. But I know for a lot of actors, there's so much downtime that it's like, what is the term? The idle hands or the devil's playthings. It's a plaything. It's the downtime becomes so difficult to deal with that
Yeah.
you really, really have to come up with a way of navigating that and managing it, setting a schedule for yourself. I'm just talking to artists specifically, but like figuring out like I cannot go to bed at 3:30 in the morning every morning. Like it's hard. And I say that to myself where that is my struggle. I'll just like stay up and then the next day I'm gassed and then I'm always struggling against that. But like the self-destructive thing, it 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 becomes a coping mechanism. Everyone has those things and you just have to be able to like see it and name it, and when it's starting to get a life of its own,
Yeah.
get it in check and be honest with yourself when you need help. And however you find that help, like it's very important, and then sometimes it's like the momentum of the help is important. The momentum of I'm going to stop the momentum of the difficult thing that I'm dealing with and go, it's like going to the gym when people are like, it's so hard. It's like, not, you just have to drive there.
Yeah.
Just like drive
Yeah.
and be like, I don't want to go. And it's like not a choice. You're like, I don't want to go as you're putting your keys in your car. And then you're there and you're like, well, I'm here. So, it's like that kind of thing over and over and over. And you just have to make it easier on yourself.
That's so true. And then for people that are listening that maybe, that may go through anxiety or may go through those things where they can't even get themselves to get into the car to go to those
Yeah.
places, maybe. Like, what is your advice on, like, I guess, combating anxiety? I know therapy is a big one, right? Because that's always very helpful. But anything other that, like, you do, whether it's a little ritual at home or something you tell yourself, like, is that something?
Yeah. I think that, like, I'll say to get like a little personal, like, what there were sort of some events that spurned me into going into therapy, which was about maybe like a year and a half ago. And it actually came out of like successes and stuff. Sometimes you can be surprised what does it, but
Yeah.
it was there's some aspects of being, how do I say this? It's hard to say because you almost don't want it to come off as, well, I'll just do my best to articulate this.
Yeah.
I understand why someone like Justin Bieber or Shia LaBeouf, I don't think people get what attention does.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand, and it's easy to flippantly sort of intellectualize, like, oh, like, a billion people are like aware of who you are, and they'll, everywhere you go, they say your name. Like I don't think people really truly understand because we on the show have like a 0.00001% understanding of what that is. Very small in relation to them. I mean, it's like literally
You guys are
0.0001.
starting to do it because like there's days where you just go to Starbucks. I mean, me and G will go to Starbucks and someone will follow him to get a selfie to the car. You get what I'm saying? So you
Yes.
don't know where you're
So
at and there's fans of The Chosen and you feel like you have to watch your back or be careful like what just so I feel you. Yes, you guys
yes,
are going through that right now.
it's that stuff that 98% is lovely, and most people are like really really cool.
Yeah.
But if you think about like any group or anything, there's always like 2%, doesn't matter what it is, like Star Wars fans or people
Yeah.
at Starbucks, whatever. Like there's always going to be like 2% of people who are just out there. Like,
Yeah.
and it's difficult, and they don't have a good relationship to reality. And that once that number grows and grows and grows, 2% starts to be sort of like a sizable amount of people.
Yeah.
And I just had just a few experiences where someone did something that was like quite alarming to me, and I started being like, what I didn't like was that then I'd be out in public and I'd be like on edge. I just felt like I wasn't able to calm down. I just felt on edge, and that anxiety would be there, and it would be like, I'd be doing something, and then someone would like grab me from behind, and you're like, whoa, and then they're like, I love the show, and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Don't grab me from behind because I don't. I'm like just
Yeah.
living my life, and not again. I don't want to complain because like most people are so cool, but like there was one time where someone basically thought that they were in a relationship with me because they were speaking to a fake account on a platform I'm not even on.
Yeah.
Okay, and they did this to me in a public setting, and they like touched me, and I was like, whoa, and they were like, I'm the one you're talking to, and I was like, I'm not on there, and that's not me, and they didn't believe me. They thought I was like trying to save face, and she was like, well, I know you're.
Oh,
Again, I don't.
oh,
I hope she's okay. I hope
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
not talking to the fake. But basically, it was like, well, I hope I know you're newly married, so like, good luck with that. And I was like, yo, she doesn't believe me, really thinks that she's talking to me. And that's so there's a whole bunch of layers to
So
that.
rough.
One, someone's pretending to be me. That's so annoying. And I literally cannot get Facebook to, it's like, like it's all automated.
Crazy.
So there's the aspect of someone's pretending to be me and talking to people, and they're thinking they're interacting with me. So that's upsetting. Then there's the aspect of like, this person doesn't even believe I'm here now in the flesh, and they actually don't believe me. And so there's a sense that like you're losing some control over your
Life, your own self.
life identity, like.
Yeah.
And so again, most people it's totally fine, but in that case I just started going like, whoa, I'm not okay with that. And there were a few times where that happened in a short amount of time. And so I was like, I need to get into therapy. I need to make sure that I can chill at the end of the day. And, it's been very helpful. And I don't even say therapy like that's the thing. It's like everyone, there's something that you can do to help yourself. Like, for a while, part of my practice was like journaling in the morning, wake up and stream of consciousness,
I started doing
writing
that now too. It
for
helps.
15 minutes. Oh, it's like a massive brain
Yeah.
dump, and you don't have to judge anything you're writing. You're just like, write the most insane stuff that comes to your
Yeah.
mind. You're just like, and get it all out there. And then you're like, okay, I'm present. I've like the sort of chatter,
Yeah.
endless chatter, because that's something that I definitely feel like when I try to meditate or just be
I'm like that
with,
too. It's so hard for
yeah.
me to just be like silent and still. Like
Oh,
so much like I'm like, okay, what can we do? What like where
exactly. And the
yeah.
chatter, we're almost train the chatter, and that is what anxiety to me feels like because it's like a scanning and
Yeah.
a what do I need to look out for to be safe?
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah.
do I need to in my future and then oh
Yeah.
grocery shopping because I don't have anything to eat and it's
So
like
true.
and we scan and then with our phones
It's
like
yeah.
it's constant, and so the ability to just find silence is like really difficult, which is why then it becomes hard to sleep, it becomes
Yeah.
hard to
Yeah.
so anyway, that anything to halt the cycle of that kind of endless scanning and chatter has been very helpful.
I love that. Thank you for sharing all that. I know the listeners are going to just love that and really relate to that because that's like the human side of things that everyone could relate to, right? Are there specific like stories or types of characters you feel specifically drawn to telling right now? Like once The Chosen's done?
Yeah, great question. Well, I'll tell you one thing, I'm cutting my hair.
Yeah.
I'm cutting my hair
Wait,
because
how short?
not too. I'm gonna have definitely some curls still, but like it's just
Yeah, leave
so.
the curls. The curls are too luscious to get rid of.
I'll definitely have some movement and curl, but like it's so much, and I feel like I can't like dress it up. I
Yeah.
want to be able to play like a lawyer or a doc. As I'm like getting older,
Procedurals.
yeah, like well, I just like want to. There's a part of me that is very. Some people, some people like the things that pop for them when they act them are, there's different like energies of things that work for people. Like for instance, if you think about someone like Austin Butler, he's so like calm, cool, collected that if you put him in a character that's very, grounded and too cool, it's like works really well. It pops. And like for me, I feel like the opposite. Whenever someone is like operating at like a super high frequency, I just really am drawn to that because I kind of get that point of view. I get how that works. And Andrew can be a little bit like that too. Like the anything like that. And so I really do I feel like what would be so fun after is to play, someone in that kind of environment like almost like what Newsroom was on HBO or any of the or the Pit. Anything where it's like
Yeah.
that kind of world. I
Yeah.
love that kind of stuff and so I will be cutting my hair in some way.
Oh my
Less Andrew Moore, what
God. Oh,
Patrick Dempsey or something, but just going into,
love it.
so I can expand a little bit the worlds that I can be
You'll
in.
make it rock. You'll make it rock. You worked on an episode of Shameless, which we alluded to earlier.
Yeah,
So what, like, tell us about that. Like, what was that? Was there any fun story on set? Any type of,
that was awesome. That was so fun. Yeah, there was a few cool things about that. One was William H. Macy is just awesome and such a like stone cold pro and a very sweet, nice guy.
yeah.
Everyone on the set was awesome. Like all the
Seems
actors
like
that
it. I've loved
appeared,
that show.
they were so cool and not there was no pretense. Like we were all hanging out in the green room. They're just like chilling. William H. Macy had this incredible custom made ukulele there. And one of the guys was like, "Hey Bill, like play that song that you made." They're like, Whatever." Takes it out. He's like singing for us, playing, and like I was like, "Dude, I play ukulele too." So he handed it to me. We're like playing together, singing. Like it was so fun. And then when we did the scenes, it was interesting because actually the guy who, so we play two guys who come in and buy weed from William H Macy. Okay, that's fun. Like, okay, what's this gonna be like? They're like, we didn't know what it was gonna be, and then they're like making our eyes, bloodshot. We're like, oh, okay, I guess this is what we're doing. So the dude who plays my friend, we come in together, and he actually went to NYU and went to the same small studio that I went to. There were like 18 people in our acting studio.
Wow.
Um, he went to the same one I did, maybe like a few years after me,
You
and
guys
this
didn't
was his.
overlap there.
No, we didn't overlap, but he was like, Noah. He was like, you were at the Meisner studio at NYU like a few years before me. I was like, that is so, it was such a small world. And this was his first TV gig. And so he was like, okay, like I'm on, and he's great and has since worked, in TV a lot. And he's a great actor. And it was so fun to meet him there on set. And we come in, and what was interesting that I remember, because I had done maybe one or two seasons of The Chosen by this point, and we go and shoot the scene, and he said something like, in the wides and whatever, he said something like, "Oh, we've got that party on Saturday or something." Was his that's what he said. And then we do like three takes, and he stops and he's like, "Dude, I've been saying the wrong line. Like it's like the party this weekend, and I said Saturday, and like, and I remember because of just the experience on The Chosen, I was like, oh, dude, it doesn't matter. like they're not gonna. It can only something that people sort of don't think about in TV is like one moment can only exist once on
Yeah.
the show. So you film it like six different angles
Yeah.
the wide, the double, the
Yeah.
singles, their coverage, whatever. And like we hadn't done our
Yeah.
side of the coverage. We'd done the wide and then like all of his. So he's like, I've been saying the wrong thing. And I was like, dude, it won't even be, we haven't even gotten, so
Yeah.
it literally doesn't matter because they'll take the one take where it's on
You bad.
you and then you can say your thing. And also, even if we had, it wouldn't matter. But a lot of us come from theaters, like you have to get it word perfect, which obviously you want to, but like there is a sense of ease that comes with like
You can improv a
working.
little
Yeah,
and just like be
and
more
sure, yeah,
free.
and then if they don't like it, or if the script supervisor's like, hey, you've been saying it differently or wrong, then
Yeah.
you change it, and you can always kind of, or most of
Especially
the
if it
time,
like changes the meaning, as long as it's not changing the
yes,
meaning of what you're
right,
trying to
right. And
say.
so it was fun, and then he was like, okay, okay, okay. And it was fun to it was like a little moment of like, right. It was nice because that was his first TV thing, and mine I had just done. It wasn't like I'd done a bunch, but I'd done it enough where
Yeah.
we were able to sort of help each other, and I was able to be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like don't worry, you don't have to be nervous
And
about
that's
that.
always
Whereas,
more reassuring for yourself if you're
yeah,
reassuring someone else. Like,
right. Because also, like, I had been, when I, like, again, that La La Land story, like, I was scared out of my mind and, like, couldn't, I was, like, so freaked out to be on that set. And then to realize, like, oh, like, everyone is just, like, yeah, there's, like, 150 people here. Everyone's just trying to do their best. And, like,
yeah.
they're gonna be understanding and cool with you and not, and we had a great time and it came out like so it's such a fun little, scene and they were all really cool and it was fun to watch William H. Macy work
Yeah.
and just like I got to be sitting right opposite him and that is so surreal. Like I've worked now with a few people who are like big
Which I wanted
names,
to ask you, like, what specific moment for you in any production that you've been on
Yeah.
really sticks out to you that really helped you grow as an actor? You're like, whoa, this moment really helped me.
Mm, it's a great question. There are a few. You know what it is? It's actually when it comes from like more of the failure a lot of the times, or perceived failure, or when something's not going right, or it's painful because you're like, oh, that was embarrassing, or whatever.
Yeah.
And actually, I was doing a play, and Jason Alexander directed me in the part that he originated on Broadway. And we did this play, Broadway Bound, by Neil Simon, and we did it for a few months. And it was again the kind of thing where, and I played this really fun. It's very what you would think Jason Alexander would play when he was, 28, I think, when he was playing the part, something like that. It's like a part that you could imagine him, and he plays, famously George in Seinfeld amongst a multitude of other things. And it's like a very bombastic character, very sort of like broad, really funny moments. And but we started, and a sort of difficult thing about theater is, especially in a comedy or really in anything, but you're getting the laughs, and then you don't want to start putting your foot on the gas too much
Yeah.
for the laughs, and then too much, and then you're pushing and pushing more and more,
Yeah.
and it's always something that I have to work against. And even in this last play, there was a moment where I was like, okay, like my foot's way too much on the gas here. I gotta readjust after a few like 2 weeks. I was like, oh, there's a readjustment has to happen. But in this play, we had gone for like 2 months, and I was feeling like almost like I had spiraled into a different type of performance, and I didn't know how to get it back. I was like, I feel like I'm like I just don't know. And he came to see a show, and then he took me aside after the show, and he was like, "It's gotten a little crazy. Like you've gotten kind of crazy, and it's just too much. It's like too much. It's like too much mustard on the sandwich. Like you got the mustard." Just like trust it and like you don't have to be like and like I always and that is painful always to hear because something my teachers would say and I was like got it right because I had been feeling it but I just didn't know how to you get into like survival mode. So in that moment getting that from someone that I so admire and trust and
Yeah.
his work and just as a director and as a human being, and when he said that to me, I was able to kind of go home, stay up, be like, where have I just put my foot on the gas too much? Where can I recalibrate this and bring it back into, the realm that it should be in the pocket, basically.
Yeah.
Happens with musicians all the time. If you think about like playing drums, think about like certain rock and roll drummers.
Yeah.
without, if they didn't have a click track in,
Yeah.
there would be a tendency, or think about like punk rock, the tendency would be to push the
Yeah.
tempo. That all of a sudden you're playing the songs and they're like way faster than they would be. And
Yeah.
it's like because the energy is
Wait.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the problem is when you put your foot on the gas too much, it actually takes it out of the pocket of where it wants to be. And then you feel like slowing it down. You're like, oh, am I taking
Where
away the energy? So it's like really hard to find that
balance.
calibration. And that to me was a moment because it was him and saying it to me where I was like, right, I gotta recalibrate here. And it helps because it's painful. You're like, ooh, all those performances I've just been pushing on the gas too much. And in this, every time something like that happens, and you're like, that's a little embarrassing, but I'm gonna try to
Yeah. Yeah.
recalibrate. And then the next time you go in, you're better and better for it because you've
But I
gone through that
love
period.
that. And now it sticks with me because I'm going to start saying this. Like, you got the mustard. Like, you
Yeah, yeah,
got
yeah.
the mustard. Like,
The
no, I'm going to
mustard's on
start
the
saying that to
sandwich. You don't need
myself.
to be like, "What? You need more." Like
Like,
it's like, no, no. The mustard is good, but like you don't need it. You
all the
know.
mustard. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I love that. So now as you prepare to enter the final season of The Chosen, right?
Yeah.
How does that feel knowing all these years are about to come to a close? Playing like playing Andrew for such a long period of time, what does that reveal to you about yourself? Like,
Yeah, I know. I think that as we near the end, maybe I'm delusional, but like Andrew's not going anywhere for me. Like he will be a part of me forever and me him in a way. And I say that humbly. Like it's crazy to think about how this is such a it has reached so many people interpretation of this story. And we are all forever linked with each other and with the characters. And that is such a gift. And like, yes, I won't be going in day to day, like playing him, but there is this sense of there was a time that we got to do this. And then we release it and it lives on forever in the show. And it is bittersweet because it's difficult to
yeah,
say goodbye, but in a way it must, like all good things like that. You do have to release them, but we are all like even that, yes, we won't all be on set working with each other day by day, but like we're all linked. That will never go away even after we're gone. We all will be linked to each other. And like that is so special and you know, not a lot of people in our industry get to have something like that. And I really don't, I try to never take it for granted because that is special. And even something like, on TikTok, I'll see a video and it will like go into like where the disciples traveled off to afterwards, but they'll use like images from the show. And it's like in people's minds, the portrayal, often paintings or whatever, but the chosen has entered into the zeitgeist in that way.
yeah.
And it's just so, yeah, it's something, it's a gift that forever I'll be grateful to have been a part of. And it feels like it doesn't leave. Like
I
it
love
just,
that.
yeah,
And you're right about that. And you mentioned earlier when we were talking about how, you had gone from like, usually if you were on a set, it was like maybe a day here, 2 days here. The longest stretch was like a week. So for this specific role, what
yeah.
was the most uniquely challenging like part of sustaining this role for so many years?
the the most challenging is the stuff that isn't on set filming with each other. Like cuz that's so special and the telling of the story is so special. And when we get to do it. I mean, yeah, there are days when it's like, dude, I've been standing in the sun for like 12 hours and I can't see. Like I literally my eyes are like it's the sand is too
Oh,
bright and the sun is too strong. But obviously there are those, but really to answer your question, it's just would be more in between stuff. The things that get in the way for everyone, like, scheduling or businessy stuff, or I gotta, or anything that isn't the actual like work of it, which happens
Graphic
in
stuff.
every job,
Yeah,
you
every job.
know. But it's like those things are challenging, but like would do it a million and one times over and over again. It's like it's almost nothing. It would be the answer is almost nothing.
Well, was there ever a moment you noticed a shift of the understanding of your character? Like even your approach? Did it ever just like shift?
Yeah, I think you see this a lot in shows too, that like after the first season or
Yeah.
even the first, group of episodes, people start to kind of find it, not just the actors, but the writers too, characters, like they just start to, I think about The Office all the time
Yeah.
because I love that show and I think the portrayals of the characters are just like some of the best ever. Like Michael Scott is maybe the greatest comedic character of all time. It's
Agreed.
totally possible. And when you watch Steve Carell in the first season, yes, it's Michael Scott, but it's a little different.
Yeah.
And that's not, it's like the nature of finding that and the writing going, what do we have here with Steve Carell
Yeah.
as Michael Scott?
Yeah.
And Steve Carell being like, what do we have here with Michael Scott? And me bringing, what can I bring to the table? And then by season 2, you're like, got it. We are very much in the pocket. Not, again, it grows, but I definitely feel like that. The first season, there's just, because also what it is there's not so much context. You're doing
Right.
what you can with what's on the page, and then as you get more and more and more episodes, it starts
And
to
your
build
chemistry
out.
builds with everyone,
Exactly.
and you get more comfortable. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
And so I would say like by when we were getting into even the second part of season 1, because there was a break, that started to feel a shift. And then really as we started getting into season 2, there were aspects of Andrew that I feel like they were like, got it, we have Noah playing this part. And I
Yeah.
was like, got it, I'm playing this part. And this is what they're sort of bringing to the table. Even like the end of season 1, the who got you food little moment, that like that
Yeah.
could be nothing. It could be just like, what do you mean? And it's like, no, because it's like it is me and it is Andrew, and
Yeah.
it's and Andrew, there are these fun moments
I
for
definitely
him.
see those moments watching it, knowing you as a person, and then seeing
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
wait, but this is just like Noah in like a dress,
Yeah. Because there's
like or
like
in the dress, a
the,
tunic,
yeah, the alchemy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
a dress.
what's the difference,
Yeah.
The alchemy, it starts to just get stronger of like
Yeah.
you and character and what side of the, like if there's like a prism that you kind of turn and let the light come through of different aspects of yourself for different characters, and you're turning it and you're like, right, it's a lot of this kind of part of me and this that's not me, so I have to kind of search for it. But then it just gets stronger and stronger, like, the light can really shine out in this way. And so I would say definitely that transition into going into season 2, even the dancing at the wedding. Like, we didn't, before you have a moment where we reveal that Andrew, like, can't dance, we don't know that kind of information. We don't know that, like, it's a part of him that,
Although we
but yet,
saw this past Hosencon that you sure
oh,
can damn dance. Like
listen,
you were.
it's funny because I was talking Haley, who is Austin's girlfriend, was like, I kind of think Austin won that. And
Respectfully, you killed like when you started pushing off that ground.
listen, it's
It's like,
I
what
was
is
saying Austin's rendition was so beautiful
it was
that I had to in the competition go, you cannot beat the beauty of what Austin is presenting here. It's
100%.
gorgeous.
But you took it to this like you gave it like character. Like his
I
was
had to
definitely
throw it into the trash. The only way, Bella, is let me throw it into the garbage. Some people, it's beautiful, and I say for this competition, I have to throw it into the literal trash heap outside. And
so
sometimes it's
good.
what it is. So, but that thing wasn't present before, so you don't know that fun sort of aspect. And then once it's there, you're like, ah, that's another part of the sort
Yeah.
of prism that's there, and then it just grows, and that's been
Yeah.
like so fun.
I love it. So, okay, you now, what do you think? I'm trying to find like I'm gonna merge my two thoughts together. How do you think your last day on set might feel like? And what do you think the hardest part of saying goodbye to this role will be?
Oh, I mean, I don't even want to. It's like last day on set. Listen, if all goes according to plan, and we are fortunate enough to get to dive into the book of Acts
Yeah.
and the disciples afterwards, which has, they announced it. I'm not spoiling anything as the hope that we get to do it. I never count my chickens before they hatch, but if we're lucky enough to do that, then it will be so nice to step back into the role. But I do truly feel like it's not leaving.
Yeah.
Like if we didn't get to do this seventh season,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, wait, but I'll never get. It's like it's a part of me, this whole experience, and maybe I'm partial to Kurt Vonnegut. The time happens now and then in the past and always, but I do feel like there's a sense that we're always a part of it, and I think the last day on set will be very hard to say goodbye to everyone because we do love each other.
Yeah.
But then it's like it's gonna be like I'll see you soon. It'll be more like I'll see you soon and less like goodbye because again there will be events, we're all in each other's lives no matter what, so like we'll see each other at personal events, work events.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get to film stuff together in the future. So I'm trying to look at it like that. Like the relationships that we've built are never going away.
100%. I love that. It's gonna be an emotional one for all of you. I know that. You guys are just gonna be like, I know G's already like reading scripts.
G's been talking about it for years. He's like,
I
I'm
know.
not ready for it to
Yeah.
end. I'm like, don't worry, dude. We have
He's
years. He's like,
he's so
no.
sentimental. He was reading
Yeah.
scripts and he started crying. I'm like, oh, it's okay. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel bad. But all right, before we wrap up, some fun questions that I love asking people.
Great.
And yeah, so what's the most this could only happen to me moment you've had as an actor that you can publicly share? Because I know some of those can get wild.
Yeah, yeah, that one. I wonder when I can tell that story.
Yeah.
But yes, let me see. What's this could only happen to me.
Because Noah, you're like a magnet for those things. Like, I don't know what it is. You just bring that out of people
Yeah, I've had some interesting experiences. Let's see. What's a this could only happen to me?
that we could publicly share. Because I know there's probably so many coming to mind, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm trying to say, can I tell that story?
It's up to you. It's all up to you.
Oh, oh no. I feel like I can. Like, you know, I can. Oh, all right. Listen, I'm sorry to the audience. All right, this is a little bit. Listen, this is not something that I
This is
did.
a
This was
teaser for socials. It'll just be literally there and then cut. And it's like, all right, go to
yeah,
the full
great.
episode to hear this.
All right, I'm just gonna tell it. I'm just gonna tell it. People ask sometimes what's the most unhinged
Yeah.
fan interaction.
Yeah.
This is definitely it. So I won't tell the whole story,
Yeah,
but
just
I'll tell a little piece of it. And you know what? To the woman that this story emerged from, I hope you're okay. I hope this is not. I mean, I'm not. I don't know her name, and so it's not. It can't be embarrassing. But we're filming, and it's when there's a lot of people in town for some of these scenes with like a lot of background. Turns out this person wasn't was uh driving around scoping around if they could find any of the chosen actors. Okay.
yeah.
Who gets caught in the net but me? Okay, so I very not smartly decided that for this period of time I was going to stay at a hotel because I was like, I'm only there, and then I was going to go somewhere else. And so I was like, I was fine. I kind of like hotels. It makes you like live a sort of stark, like, you're like, barely have a fridge,
Yeah.
whatever. So I was there, and there's a woman waiting, two women actually waiting by the elevator of this place, and they were like from very far away, and it's been the end of a long day, so I've got my huge bag of stuff, and I'm like kind of gassed from filming, and just from far away they go, "I gotta be weird, I gotta be weird, I got." And I'm like, no, it's okay. She goes, "Can I like take a photo?" I'm like, "Of course, that's not weird." Little did I know that was not the weird part. So we take a photo. Oh, I can't. How do I say this?
The
How
PG
do I say
version.
this?
Yeah, the PG version,
I
I guess.
just
You don't
she
need to
goes,
do that. You could
no,
say the
no,
full
no.
version,
I'm
but
I'm trying to see like what part of this. Well, listen. She said it to me. I'll just say it. She goes. Oh, this is so messed up. But okay. She goes, listen, I have to tell you something. I'm like, okay. She goes, it's really messed up because I'm laughing, but anyway, she says, my husband passed away 7 years ago, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." And I was, and she said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So I just really want to let you know, um, I'm single. I've had a hysterectomy, and I can't get pregnant. And I was like, "Well, I'm married, and she's an
gosh.
a woman with
Much
age on
much
me."
like years of experience in life. Yeah.
Yes, she's just, we're
Seasoned.
not of the same generation.
Yeah, seasoned.
So she says this to me, and I was like, well, I'm married. And she goes, oh, right. Well, if you want to let any of the other disciples know that I'm here. And I was like, no, I
You're
don't
like,
think
yeah,
I
sure.
will.
Giovanni Cairo's actually in that.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, no, I was like, no, I don't think I will, but good luck to you on your.
So crazy.
And listen, I don't know, shot or shot. It.
You know what's
Listen, I
crazy? For listeners listening to this, this isn't even like the craziest story. Like it really isn't. Of the things that like we've all witnessed that happens to
yeah.
poor guys. Like,
There's definitely some interesting
and it's
stuff,
so
but
interesting because like the demographic, you think because it's like a religious show, like that's the last place you'd expect these things to happen. But like the amount of things,
but that was what it was. I apologize for the crazy story, but that happened to me.
it's
So anyway,
yeah,
just so
it's
people
like
know.
I feel like if people are comfortable enough to say something like that and approach people, like that means like I mean you're out there, you're doing it. So
I think you're right. I think that can then be shared in a forum
yeah,
like this. And
yeah.
it's not like I'm sharing names, but that to me, I was like,
No, this
whoa,
is what
that
makes
is,
for great podcast content. This is
yeah.
the
And I
type
was
of
like, that's the craziest. Like, I've never had someone say something like that to me. But,
Love it. So
okay.
good. So, what is I love getting the response to this. So, whenever I ask this question, what's the most embarrassing moment you've had? You know, like I had Togo on, and Togo said his was shitting his pants. And like it was right when he was on a morning run, had his coffee, and he's like, I had to go to set. This is when he was filming, like back like when he was, on the show. And like he's like, I literally had to go to set like with that
Woo!
happening.
Okay.
That
I
was
don't.
Togo's response.
What is my most. Okay, I've got one. This was just a little moment. Oh no. This is like not something that. Okay. Oh, this is so. I can't even believe I'm saying this. This is very unchosen like interview.
Because, well, this isn't affiliated. This
Yeah,
is
there you go.
whatever.
All right. This was just a little moment. I don't know if it's my most embarrassing, but it's what comes to mind. I was at the ArcLight Theater, I think is what it was called, in LA, right in Hollywood. It was like maybe like a year after I'd moved to LA, something like that. And I'm there and I would park on the roof and then you take the elevator all the way down to the down on the street level, whatever. And so I get back in, I'm on my phone, and from behind me, I hear a woman say, I hear her say, she goes, just from behind. Again, it's face. I don't know what's happening back, but I hear a woman behind me go, Poppy, can you hit floor 5 or something like Poppy? And to me, I was like, oh, it's some sort of like Latina,
Yeah,
being calling
what
me
I'm
Poppy.
thinking.
So I hear Poppy, can you hit floor 5? And I was like, without looking, I just go to the button. I was like, I sure can. Say it out loud. I sure can. I hit the number and I turn around and it's like a very white girl with her elderly grandfather. And she had said to her grandfather, Poppy, like not Poppy, but Poppy, can you hit my wife? I answered, and they both looked at me like, "What's wrong with
Be
you?" And
like, sorry, everyone calls me Buffy.
I was like, "Oh no, what have I done?" And then just the whole elevator ride in silence up to play, and then they get out, and of course he walks out like so slowly, and I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
that was pretty embarrassing.
That is like probably one of my favorite ones now. Like
There you go.
that's so
Poppy, can you
good.
hit floor 5?
It's
And
like
it was with the braggadocious. It was like the energy of like,
you're
oh,
like, Buffy? Yeah.
yeah, I guess I can.
Which floor did you say?
Yep.
That is so good. That's like the call him daddy, but like it's call him puppy.
Yep,
So good.
exactly.
That is really good. All right. What's a relationship ick that you have or that Norma has of you?
Mm. Well, I definitely don't have this relationship ick with Norma, but the thing that would make me just like end relationships, or not even a relationship, but like if I was dating someone and then would just be like communication styles. Like if
Yeah.
someone is not communicative, that's very difficult. Like I like so value communication. So like if someone gets passive aggressive because they're not just like
Yeah.
saying the thing, I don't want to like dig into the meaning beneath the lines. Like I'm like, just tell me what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
That I value. That I value
Way.
communication.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's important for not even just like romantic relationships, but just like friendships,
Yeah,
like any type of relationship where I'm like, just be straightforward, tell
yeah.
me
Like I'd
everything.
much rather. I'm a pretty confrontational person. Not like
Yeah.
I seek confrontation out, but I
Yeah.
don't hide from
No, but I
confrontation.
love that about you because I'm the
But
same
I know that you're the same way.
way.
I totally,
Yeah.
I see that.
Like
I see that.
I'd rather someone like I don't know. I don't like when people pretend to be something else and then like when you're not around, it's like I don't know. I'd rather just like someone for who they are or be like, "Hey, I don't like this about you, but I like you. I respect you for telling me the truth." So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I still respect you, you know? So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
what's three or one, whatever skincare items or beauty items you can't live without? And I thought
That's
of this
fun
because like you know what
because
I'm
we use the same toothpaste.
yeah,
Uh,
like yeah, and other products too. I remember you walked into the bathroom and you saw like um
oh yeah,
you saw the stuff when we were having like a game night and you
yes.
go in and you're like, "Oh, like we have that we say use the same this and use the same
Like
that." And then
same
you'll show up
stuff.
and you'll be dressed similarly to G or G will be dressed similarly to you, whatever. Like you guys are vibing and I'm like,
I know. I'm always like, G. Like I bet G would wear this shirt.
yeah, probably.
This. I think the three things. I have this lip mask that I
Okay.
love. You put it on with a stick. It's like a little bee. It's like a I don't know, it's like a little tub,
Okay.
tiny, but you with a stick, and it's like a lip mask. I'll
Ooh.
send it to you, and I
Yeah.
wear it every day, and at night, and my lips feel very non-dry and
Love.
chapped
Love.
now.
Okay.
Love that. I love snail mucin.
What?
I'm a snail
What the
mucin
hell is snail
girly.
mucin?
It's listen, who knows? But it's like you I put it on before everything. It's just a nice little
But what is it
burst of
like? Or like a
moisture.
toner for your face, or like a
No,
moist?
it's like a little, it would almost be like putting on hyaluronic acid or something, but
Oh.
it's like a little moisture
Does it come from
balm.
a snail?
I think it does. I
I'm
think it does, maybe, or maybe I'm don't know. But
um,
snail mucin, yeah. Don't rub an actual snail on your face. I
yeah.
feel like you'll get diseased from that. But snail mucin, and then the curl. I mean, my hair is so difficult to tame
Yeah, what do you
at
use?
this length. Like it's so that's another reason why I'm like, I will cut it after the show. But the diffuser, I use a Dyson diffuser. I spent the money on a Dyson, and like that I need because otherwise it's like totally, it's insane
Frizz.
even with using the stuff that I use. But like the diffuser for my curly haired friends,
Love that.
that, and then I use like a Inner Sense is the brand, like curl cream, um, and stuff like shampoo and conditioner. I love my scalp massager.
Smart.
I it's like a little,
Good stimulation.
yeah, silicone scalp massager keeps
Yeah,
scalp healthy, especially with curly people. Like very much recommend that.
I love that.
I'd say those items.
Love. Okay, movie you can quote word for word.
Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore, Ace Ventura, Back to the Future is pretty close.
Were you there that night we watched? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, you
Oh
knew.
yeah.
Happy
Oh
Gilmore.
yeah. Because we watched the first and then the second,
Yes.
which
And the second one was just,
I had thoughts about the second. I'm happy they did it, but the
yeah.
first is just like so a part of my childhood and life, and I've seen it like 80 million times that it was hard to live up to, you know,
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Okay, weirdest habit you have.
Okay. Here's my serial killer habit is that sometimes when I'm doing errands around the house, I listen to I listen to brown noise. Do you know what that is?
No.
So you know white noise, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
white noise is like gentle
Subtle. Brown
rain.
noise is like really loud, right? Like
Brown noise is not,
obnoxious.
it's not like so much loud. It's it's as if you were standing in a dystopian industrial dust
How does
storm.
Norma react to this when
Well,
you
it's like in my earpods. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
like I'll listen to brown noise where it's like it just sounds like there's particles being
Why?
strewn everywhere. I don't know, but it's like white noise is too calming for an errand, and that it almost like calms
But what
the
about like just
monkey
music that
mind.
hypes you?
Well, I listen to like heavy
Yeah.
techno music too, but
Yeah.
like sometimes if I'm just like trying to like get through something calmly,
Yeah.
brown noise. Like check it out. Hold on, this isn't gonna work because it probably won't play over the thing, but I'll just pull up some brown noise.
Yeah, I want to hear
Um,
this.
okay, so I'm just gonna do like
Do you
uh
literally just type brown noise like it's
yeah.
its own thing? That's like you're out in like even in Chicago and you have your window open a little bit and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
hear
It's a
the
little bit
traffic and the
like,
wind.
yeah, it's like,
Oh, that's not bad. That's like nice. It takes me
yeah,
back to like I'm in the city.
exactly. It has like an industrial. It's
Yeah.
like you were. It's like white noise, but like slightly harsher. It's not like the tranquil
I like
rain.
that better because I don't do white noise.
There you go. Try
Okay, that
brown
makes
noise.
sense. Okay, that makes sense. If your life
But
was
it's just funny to be like doing laundry, and it's like, it's like to do laundry. I need to be in the middle of a dust storm in a
I love
dystopian
that.
city. Yeah.
I love that. If your life was a movie right now, what genre would it be?
It's always I always think and see in comedy. I
Yeah.
just always do. Like I think most things can be funny, and generally when I go to create something or write something, the lens, even if I don't conceive of it at first like that, the lens always goes into comedy. Yeah.
I love that. Weird talent. Something you could do that people don't know about.
Weird talent.
Like even if it's
Hmm.
something weird, like for example, I could do, obviously listeners can't see, but I could like, because I'm like my joint,
That is weird.
I could bend in any way because the
Your
hyper,
thumb is like detached from your
yeah,
hand.
it's like
It's
hypermotor
very
joint.
zombie-esque almost.
Yeah, so that's how
Like
my
a
body
zombie
works.
could do that. Whoa.
Yeah, so
I
that's
well, I definitely can't do that. Um, talent, weird talent. Hmm. I mean, most people know that I play games and like, but I would even say like games, like board games with
yeah.
friends and stuff. I'm
Oh yeah,
pretty good at like mafia type games or whatever.
even
I'm
Secret
pretty good
Hitler.
at
You
yeah, that
like
exactly. If people don't know that game,
it's
it
good.
sounds crazier than it is. But you're though it's a social deduction game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at like reading. Well, obviously I get it wrong. I mean, even when you're really good at it, you get it wrong all the time. But like I'd say like generally whenever I play with Norma, she always checks my card. She's like, I don't if you're in the game, we check Noah's card. Like we have to know if Noah is friend or foe. And like that yeah, I understand. And it makes playing harder,
I
but
love
like I take that as a point of pride. You do have to know
I love
where
it.
I stand with my card.
Yes. Okay, so last question. Something
Okay.
you're excited about now that has nothing to do with your career.
Well, I'm excited about my family. I'm excited about stepping into a new chapter in life. If I take it outside of those are like the monumental things that I'm excited about.
Yeah.
If I take it to little gifts and treats, I'm I'm excited about finding new sounds when I'm playing music. I love finding things that like are really evocative or sound like something or like a story or something. I get excited about really good coffee. I just bought a
Yeah.
bag of matcha from Japan. Ceremonial matcha. I know you drink ceremonial matcha too.
Oh my gosh.
I bought some ceremonial matcha for like $117. I was like, dang, okay. This better be some good. Bought the bag. The bag arrived and it was like this big.
You're
Like it's the
lying.
smallest bag. I was like, oh
What?
my, I didn't understand.
Where is this from? What?
It's from Japan and it is really gorgeous matcha. Now, you know, do I have the talent to extract the level of taste that a $117 bag of matcha has? No. But I'm learning and trying to do my best. But I love those little things. I love my Greek yogurt and muesli. I
Oh
love
my gosh, yeah.
simple
Like
things in life.
the guys talk about like, gee, I remember when you come with your muesli. What is it? Every time, like on
Yeah,
filming, like on,
I do. I come every time we go, and he's like, "Oh, you're eating your like concrete
yeah,
meal or whatever it looks like." Yeah, I love the little things in life. I'm excited about summer. I'm
yeah.
excited about watching Coachella from home
Oh,
with hopefully with the little baby around. We can be like jamming and vibing for that. So yeah, those are the things that excite me.
oh, I love it. Well, Noah, you're amazing. And I'm so, I'm so glad and honored that you were able to make some time from your very busy schedule. I know you've been going through it with so much going on. So I really appreciate you coming on and
Oh,
like,
of
it's
course.
always
No,
such a
I love chatting with you. You are the best. That you said yes. I was like, of course. Like, there's
You're
no
the
thought
best.
about
I
it. So,
appreciate you. You know I love you. I was telling G, I was like, I love Noah. I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun. He's like, yeah, you guys are gonna have a blast. Like he already knows. Like he
well,
was.
please tell him I say hello, and I send him a hug, and to you as well, and just love you guys,
We
and
love you.
yeah, I'll be seeing you like very shortly.
We love you too. Please hug Norma for us
I
and
will.
the baby in her tummy. We
I
can't
will.
wait. We're so excited. We love both of you. So thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your few weeks maybe. What a freeze over. We
Yes,
don't know yet because
exactly, exactly.
oh, let me